Located in the far southeast corner of California is a rather inhospitable prison. The summer sun beats down on the housing units with an oven-like ferocity. It couldn't be more different than the coastal climates where prisons like Pelican Bay are located. The prison sits among the irrigated fields situated south of the Salton Sea, which provides a spattering of green amid the desert sand. Calipatria State Prison will be our next facility in our California State Prison Profile series. We'll check out the surrounding city of Calipatria before moving on to prison stats. Then we'll finish with some notable incidents and inmates. Let's get into it. Calipatria is a portmanteau, or a blend of words. Cali being short for California, and Patria, which is Spanish for homeland. The city is an imperial county, the least populous county in Southern California. There are 2 state prisons in Imperial County, the other being California State Prison, Centinela, which has a similar design and opened 22 months after Calipatria State Prison. Calipatria is about 23 miles north of the county seat El Centro. The city is situated at the lowest elevation, 164 feet below sea level, in the Western Hemisphere. The prison is located at 184 feet below sea level, even lower than the city. To say that this area is hot is an understatement. The average daily high temperature in July and August is 107 degrees, with a record high of 120 degrees. At certain temps, all outdoor movement is prohibited at the prison. If you think you will cool off with some rain, you would be wrong. On average, there is only 4.6 days of rain a year. If you hate rain, then this is the place for you. To the northwest, Calipatria is the Salton Sea, a shallow land-lake body of water created from the Colorado River. Once a bustling tourist destination, an increase in salinity level along with toxic dust clouds created from the sea drying up has created a disaster. Palm Springs Life magazine said, "The Salton Sea derives its fame as the biggest environmental disaster in California history." To the southeast is the Algodones Dunes, a large sand dune field, a portion of which is in the Imperial Sand Dunes Recreation Area. You will see ATVs and dune buggies using this area for recreational purposes. The city has a population of about 6,500 people and is one of the poorest in the state, with a household income of just over $39,000. The state median household income is $84,000. Hopefully now you have an idea of the area surrounding this prison. We'll now cover some prison facts and figures. Calipatria State Prison officially opened its doors on January 4th, 1992. What a way to bring in the new year. The prison featured the state's first ever deadly electrified fence to prevent escapes. The fence itself cost $1.5 million. It stands 13 feet high and is in between 2 other fences to keep people away. The fence had an unintended consequence, killing the birds in the area. It was supposed to send a small shock to small animals to keep them away. A spokesman for the prison said, "We want to keep them out of here. It is something that we don't want to happen. I'm sure they don't want a bunch of dead birds littering the prison yard." The prison is located 3 miles north of the city center and is just off California State Route 111. Which ends near Palm Springs to the north and Calexico to the south near the Mexico border. The facility is sited on over 1,200 acres, with the prison itself on 300 of those acres. The prison has 4 facilities aptly named A through D. Within each facility contains 5 housing units. The housing units are double-tiered with double occupancy cells. Each facility within the prison can act independently of itself. The facility houses primarily level 4 or high security inmates, the most dangerous within the California prison system. With almost 1,800 level 4 inmates, there is an additional 600 level 3 offenders. Calipatria also has a minimum security support unit that has 152 inmates. As of September 2022, there is 2,554 inmates being housed at Calipatria State Prison. In 2007, the prison was operated at an astounding 181% capacity with over 4,000 inmates. Supervising these inmates is 1,062 staff. The facility is operating on a yearly budget of $182 million. The prison offers educational and vocational programs to offenders. Programs such as carpentry, heating, ventilation and air conditioning, electrical, electronics, and computer literacy. An array of cognitive behavioral interventions is offered based on the need of each individual inmate. Before getting into some notable incidents at the prison, don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss any new content. In 2005, an inmate knifed an officer at the prison, sparking a series of small riots. The officer was attempting to search the inmate when he was attacked by several other offenders. During the scuffle, an officer on the perimeter shot an inmate, killing him. This sparked a series of attacks on staff. A spokesman for the CDCR said, "In the buildings, the inmates were using broken broom handles and crutches, and they were ramming the employees with laundry carts. 25 offenders and 25 officers were injured, with 90 inmates taken to administrative segregation following the incident." Over 30 members of the Orange County Mexican Mafia were charged with a slew of different crimes, including 2 murders and 6 attempted murders, and related drug and gun charges. Calipatria State Prison was one of the prisons that the gang was operating out of. Gregory Munoz, the number 2 in the gang, ordered a hit while at the prison. He was then targeted when he was released from the prison because the leader felt disrespected. He was shot multiple times but survived. Given these charges, if they are convicted, they will be in prison for a long time. In January 2020, a Day of Peace and Reconciliation ceremony was hosted at the prison, in the hope of stopping some of the violence in and out of prison. The day pushed many of the programs being offered by the state for incarcerated men at this prison, to convince them that violence is not the way. The community resources manager for the prison said, "These events open their eyes to what the possibility of being incarcerated can be. A lot of inmates feel that once they're in prison, their lives are over." Rapper Pusha T put on a performance at the prison as part of his Schools Not Prisons tour in 2016. It was the first ever concert to be played at the facility. He played in front of officers and offenders alike in the middle of one of the prison yards. He said of the reason he came to the prison, "Putting an end to mass incarceration is important to me. It's something I've watched destroy a generation of my peers. I was able to go to Calipatria and see that there was still inspiration and hope in the inmates. That was motivation for me to keep fighting for this cause." While we could look at some more infamous inmates that have spent time at Calipatria, we'll look at a couple lesser known. I have to mention that the notorious Hillside Strangler, Angelo Bono, died of a heart attack at the prison in 2002. He was 67. Reggie Cole was convicted at 18 years old of murder. Cole was sent to Calipatria State Prison, where many other murderers go once convicted. Cole swore he was innocent, probably like most of the other men there. The California Innocence Project would take up his case and win him his freedom after 16 years of incarceration. What makes his case different? Cole would kill another inmate in prison at Calipatria, earning him a voluntary manslaughter charge, and spending 10 years in solitary confinement. Following his conviction being overturned on his original sentence, the new case would qualify for time served, and he would be released.
I think to repay them is to go out in society and prove that I've spent these last 16 years preparing myself to be free.
Quite an unusual story and ending. On December 20th, 1998, Callie Manley, a 14-year-old from Oakview, California, would disappear after leaving a friend's home late at night. Thousands of people would search for her, but would come up empty. Her body would be found 3 months later in a ditch. David Alvarez would be convicted in the murder. As part of a plea deal, he pled guilty to murder in exchange for dismissal on the sex-related charges. This would leave him eligible for parole. From a conference room at Calipatria State Prison in January 2023, he would be denied parole, which would be revisited in 5 years. As you can see, Calipatria State Prison holds some of the most dangerous men in California. Just like other high security institutions, it has its history of violence. This has to be the most uncomfortable prison climate of any prison in California. Let me know in the comments if you disagree. Make sure you click the link here to check out my other California State Prison profiles. Thanks for watching, and as always, see you next time.